Hi, good people. Hi, TIs. It is Sherry, and I am here with some free and valuable information for you to benefit yourself as well as others. Okay, so if you learned something here today, which I'm sure that you will, please don't forget to hit like and subscribe and hit that little notification bell because that lets you know when I release new videos, with helpful information from my research and reviews that you can benefit from. Okay, so don't forget to hit like and subscribe, or don't hit like. If it sucks, put the thumbs down, put a comment in there, tell me why so I can fix it. Okay, I'm open to feedback. So yeah, and hit share if it's a really good one. If you feel this information, especially TIs, you know what's going on in our little community. If this video hits home, and you want to share it with somebody that's going through a similar experience, please do. Okay, so with no further ado, I'm here today with the title of this video is called Schoolhouse Blues. Okay, school. School is so important, right, to all of us. We usually go there to increase our incomes and to learn and to become more cultured and to become more financially stable. All right, so let me tell you my little experience with school and how my degree was sabotaged due to my being a targeted individual. Okay, I'm going to share that with you today. I feel like I've been wanting to tell this story for years. I think I have, but maybe to the wrong people. But it was such a it was such a memorable, for lack of a better word. Thanks for the memories. It was such a memorable experience that I just need to share it. Okay, TIs, this will, and anybody else who's been bullied and or blacklisted, hopefully this experience helps you. And I apologize, the lighting, it's really sunny today, and I think I'm sitting in a spot where the light is like just bouncing off my glasses here. So either that or the chip in my eye shining. Anyways, all right, so Schoolhouse Blues, with no further ado. Okay, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Sherry. I have experience being a targeted individual, which means basically getting bullied on a community-wide scale in all aspects of the community, including up to and including school, employment, church, obviously businesses. So your name gets put on some type of list and it gets sent out, okay, like the bat symbol, all the brotherhoods and sisterhoods, and yeah, your name is on basically, I don't want to swear, but that blank list, you're on the list. It's like that, okay? But it's very damaging. And you'll find out through this story real quick. I'll tell you about how my school career, my school career was sabotaged, or my schooling was sabotaged my career. Okay, and I'll tell you how I attempted to fix it, what happened, and where I'm at now. Okay, so hopefully this helps. All right, TIs, good people, you're welcome to stay. All righty, so let's go back to 2008. Okay, no, I'll make it. This is for you guys, okay? This is my experience, but I'm telling it so you guys can benefit from it too, and just to hear what happened, man. This how you know just bullying these people can be in this program. All right, so let's go back about 2008, something like that. I originally wanted to go to school to be a dental hygienist. I like teeth. I always have. I mean, we all need teeth. You need them to eat. You need them to smile. You need them to they help your speech. I wouldn't have minded being a dental hygienist cleaning teeth all day. Some people are like, oh, I don't want to clean people's mouths and that's gross. And no, it's not. They're just people with teeth, whatever, even the grossest of mouths. If you can help them and get it cleaner, oh boy, that's like a feeling of accomplishment. Doesn't bother me. But I decided against the dental hygiene because I think I actually signed up and was enrolled. Me and a friend, he and I were going to go and be dental hygienists together, right? And then that schooling, something, it was too expensive, or we just didn't pursue it. I didn't, and my friend didn't either. So then I went to the local community college and said, okay, maybe I'll do dental hygiene there. But then for some reason I switched it and I wanted to do therapy assistant, okay? So I was going to school to be a therapy assistant, which is an associate level degree at the community college, which is very smart financial wise, because you don't spend as much money as you would on a bachelor's degree, but you can make a pretty good amount. Especially with like associate nursing, you can still make a very good amount, and the schooling is like half the price, okay, and half the time. So that was advice from my where I used to go to for spiritual not enlightenment. That's where I'll just call it church. It's not really called the church, but we'll call it church, okay? That's what my church told me. They have very good advice, specifically that church, on how to best, live your life in a way that you can maximize all your time so that you can devote it to, you know, to the true God and to, helping spread his message and whatnot. Okay, I digress. I'm getting off the topic here. All right, so I signed up for school. I was ready. I was already almost into my 30s, so I felt I had wasted time. I wanted to get this done. I really wanted to achieve this goal and make my income go up. I was realizing that working the positions I was in, even though I always worked, I did customer service, which I made decent wages and had insurance and stuff. It was pretty pleasant jobs. I liked being on the phone. But but it wasn't what I nearly the income that I could have been making. Not enough to own a house and do those kind, and take vacations and do that kind of things and live comfortably and save for the future, So anyway, so I signed up for school. I was so happy. I took all my prerequisite classes. Oh wait, before I signed up for school, because I was thinking of the medical field. So I decided to become a CNA like my family. And I thought, okay, I was a CNA. I jumped in feet first. I was always doing doubles. I wanted to work hard to really, show that I was good at it, to develop my skills. When you're first new in a job and a career, you're so happy. And so I worked hard, long hours. I did tons of doubles. I was making decent money. I was almost in my 30s. And I thought, and they kept telling me, are you going to school for nursing? They always ask you that. I thought, well, no, but I was thinking about it. They said, yeah, well, you should do it. And I thought, yeah, I should. I'd only been in, a CNA for a little while. So anyways, I planned my career. I made a conscious choice that I was going to go to school, sacrifice my time, learn whatever they were teaching, learn the courses, practice them, do my homework, and pass and graduate and increase my lot in life. Not to like millionaire status, but just a little bit. Like I said, owning a home versus renting, not having to worry about not having enough money for a car, having savings, things like that. Okay, taking a vacation so that way you can enjoy your job more, right? All work, no play. That makes you go crazy, right? Everybody needs a little vacation, even if it's not like, to Europe backpacking. Maybe just up north. Okay, that's what we do here in the Midwest. We go up north, right? You go to a cabin, you go fishing, and you go swimming, and you go, to the casinos or something. You go to movie. You're just away from your house, away from your job, relaxing. Okay, vacation. We all need them. Okay, all work, no play, no good. Especially when here in the United States we do 40-hour plus work weeks, which I was doing as a CNA. I was doing lots more than 40. So, so I enrolled. I was happy. I was starting school. I was on my way to a new life. Just a lot of things. I had it planned. So the prereq classes I took, they were pretty whatever, prereqs are prereqs, history, sociology, all that. They were actually very fun. I got decent grades, A's and B's, okay, which I've always got my whole life. Not a whole bunch of A's, but mostly B's, but a couple A's in there, sometimes C's, very rarely D's, you got to not be trying to get a D. So, but I've done that before too, but not often, okay? Pretty steady, A's and B's, mostly B's, few A's. All right. So the instructors liked me. I like them. It's a very simple formula. You sit down, you go to class, you sit down, you shut up, you listen to the instructor, you take the notes, you learn it, you ask questions. If you have questions, you go home, you study it, you read, you go over it again, you test out on it, and boom, okay? That's very simple formula. Make a few friends along the way, have study groups, not very hard. Keep in mind, though, audience, that I've been part of a MK Ultra, what I believe to be obviously non-consenting participant in the MK Ultra program for my entire life, including my family. There's a long history with the psychiatric field and just some things that when you sit there and do the math on them and add up the experiences collectively, it just doesn't make, it all roads lead to MK Ultra. So whatever. There's a long history of abuses too in my family by the medical field, the psychiatric organizations, and a little bit of, I believe. And don't think of, when you think of MK Ultra, like it's not always like X-Men, like you're like on some, they're doing like super cool stuff to you and developing all these skills, and you're going to be doing secret assignments and all that. No, it's not always that. Sometimes it's just they're experimenting on you, either socially with, or psychologically with medication. You know what I mean? There's different levels of MK Ultra. It's not just like Born Identity. It's not always that, right? Okay, or Salt, or you know what I mean, that kind of stuff. It's not always like super soldiers and stuff. I mean, but it does lead to that, but it's not always intense. It is intense, but I don't know. Anyways, that's a side note. MK Ultra. Keep that in mind, though. Okay. So, um, anyways, I was in school doing pretty well. I got to get to my program finally, because how it works in community colleges and every college, you do your prereqs first. You get your base knowledge, okay? So your history, your sociology, your math, your sciences, your economics, and then you move on to your program, so you can specialize whatever it is you picked for your program. Like I said, I was in the medical field, so I was able to start my program. I was so excited, and I got along, tried to get along well with the instructors for the most part. And then my blacklisting started up. And I must say, too, as a side note, not all my family and friends were happy for me when I started going back to school. Okay? And I could tell. There was a lot of, little bit of jealousy, a little bit of not wanting me to succeed. We all got those people, right? Whatever. So the blacklisting started in school a little bit. I could tell. It wasn't directly with the instructors at first. Not directly, but I noticed we started having like a lot of, how to explain this? Okay, well, let's just get with the instructors part. But it didn't start there. I do realize that. And to be honest, I played a little part in it. I was that student. I was older, mind you. Okay, so I was a little bit like, I wanted to get done. Come on, come on, come on, let's get done. I want to graduate, get my job, get my money. I want to start my life. I was almost into my 30s. So come on, I want to meet a husband, have kids, take some vacations. I want to enjoy my life. I know what happens when you get past a certain age. Those aren't the good years sometimes, the later years. You're sicker, you're older. So come on, I was like in turbo mode. I was revving my engines, wanting to get done. And I'm sure that was kind of annoying, to be honest, for the instructors, but again, they were at their good spot in life. They're instructors, they got their tenure, they got their jobs, they just got to teach their stuff that they always teach. They're not in a rush, they're enjoying life, they've done their rushing. So then you get me, who's in a, so I'm sure, and I was already working in the medical field, so I knew a lot of what was being taught, book-wise. Book-wise, I knew a lot. Skills-wise, okay, it was all right, but not the best by any means. So I should have shut my mouth, but here I was. Every time they'd, have a question, here I would go with the answer, and, just being a little bit challenging. I don't know what I was thinking. I was kind of, the instructors turned into kind of jerks, and I was a little bit of like acting like a jerk. Just, I thought I was being challenging, or, like, keeping us all on a higher level, because school's a lot of indoctrination, and when I hear indoctrination, I'm always like, challenge it. Which is not what you want to do. Okay, so be that as it may, that was just a little bit of the friction, but now it went to the next level with the blacklisting. So for instance, at that time, I didn't celebrate any holidays or do any type of, I didn't believe in blood transfusions. Okay, now my instructor was the head person of the blood transfusion, the blood donation department, okay, at the local community college. That was her thing. Okay, wonderful. So now, because remember, it's a medical program, okay, and they do believe in blood transfusion. Okay, well, so, but she knew that. I remember I went to the side and I said it with, dignity, and made sure I was clear about it, and, just so you know, and because she had asked me to join, and I said I won't be able. She's like, why? And I told her a little bit why, and it's not personal. It's just, no, thank you. Okay, so just so you know. And she said, okay. Then, though, what this instructor would do, she would stand by the door of the classroom with her, when it was time for the blood donation, meetings and the pamphlets to be handed out. She'd stand there with her stack of pamphlets, and she would block the doorway to the, as we were leaving class. And she would, some of these students she would just let go. But me, she would stop and say, hey, do you want to pass these out? Oh, there's a blood donation pamphlets. I thought, no, thank you. I don't do that. Remember, no, thank you. And then she'd kind of give me a little smirk. Just to make it a little awkward. I'm like, dang, I knew I told her that I didn't do that, so I don't know why she keeps asking, So that was kind of the start of it, like bullying from instructors. Okay? This is when I'm in the program. So there's only 2 instructors at that point. So it's not like I can like drop that class and take it with another instructor. No, 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 no. This is Monopoly time. Okay. This is the nitty gritty. No, you can't change instructors. These are the instructors you got. These are the women that are going to graduate you. So a lot of power they had, and they knew it. I didn't like that either. You know, it was a game of, you know, kind of, I don't know what to say. It's not necessarily what you knew in the class. It's how you acted as well, which nobody can be perfect. And there was a lot of, you know, I digress. Okay, so the blood pamphlet issue. All right, then another thing. So she also knew that I didn't celebrate holidays. Fine. There's a lot of people who don't celebrate holidays like Christmas. There's people that are Jewish. There's people that are Muslim. Okay, they don't celebrate holidays. Some people just don't do it for whatever reason. Okay, a lot of them have pagan origins that aren't necessarily, you know, truthfully talked about. So fine. But I'm one of those people. I knew, you know, I didn't celebrate them. Who cares? Doesn't affect anybody. I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying I don't. Okay, more celebration for you. She would, and it's funny because I think she was Jewish too. It's the funny part about it. But anyway, she would stop me. Okay, we would come back to class after, say, Christmas break. She'd say, okay, everybody, nice to see you. It's been so long, da da da. And she'd say, I'd like to talk about what everybody did on their Christmas vacations. Okay, how'd you spend your Christmas? Okay, fine, right? Everybody has a story. Everybody loves to tell their Christmas stories. You know, people who celebrate Christmas, they love it. Okay, wonderful. I don't. So I'd probably not be the one you want to ask because I'm going to be boring anyways. I didn't do anything. I did a lot of homework. I worked a lot of doubles, you know, and I didn't celebrate the holidays. So who cares? You don't pass on. Move on to the next person. Nope. She would call on me. After I had the conversation with her telling her that I didn't celebrate holidays. So she knew. It wasn't that she didn't know. She knew. She was purposely trying to put me on the spot in front of my classmates, also to ostracize me. Because then to my classmates, you know, looks like I don't celebrate Christmas. Well, you know, people are curious then. Put me on the spot. You know, it's no problem. I'll explain it. But, you know, very disrespectful on her behalf that she was trying to stir the pot. Okay, this is when the blacklisting, she was stirring that pot. Okay, it would get worse. Okay, but these were the little things that she started doing. Okay, so yeah, I would say, okay, well, you know, and I tell her in front of the class, well, you know, I don't celebrate holidays, so, oh, really? Oh, well, sorry. Okay, well, then you don't have anything to talk about. You know, a little dig, a little sarcastic. You don't have anything to talk about. No, I don't, because I didn't celebrate. I told you that. Let's move on to the next person. That's what she'd say. Okay, fine. Now I'm starting to feel some type of way. I'm like, huh? And I'd look at my friend. They'd look at me like, don't say anything. I'm like, okay, whatever. Because remember, my whole life, instructors usually liked me. A lot, usually. And I liked them. I was a decent student. So, all right. So that was some of the little things that happened. All right. Then, this is when the kicker came in. I was working, remember, lots of hours, which I shouldn't have been. Thinking back on it, I should have just been doing the minimum to pay my bills and then focus more on school. But remember, I needed money too. I had a car note, I had rent, I had, you know, dental bills and all the, you know, bills. Okay? Still, I should have refrained. But I didn't. I was young, I was stupid. Younger, stupider. And so one day I didn't hand in my assignment on time. Okay? And, you know, so I asked her, can I hand in this late assignment? She looked at me. His earring's going to give me grief. So anyway, she looked at me and she said, absolutely not. You know, you knew the date. You've had time. This is unacceptable. You're just going to have to take a lower grade for it. I think no grade or something, like 50% or something, where it rigged up my points to the point where I failed that class. Off of that, it wasn't just that assignment, it was a few other things, but that was the breaker that she didn't have to do. Okay, and that's why I call it blacklisting, because it was done on purpose. She wanted me to fail that class. I think, you know, when you're blacklisted, this is career sabotage. Okay, school sabotage. Okay, which leads to career sabotage, because that's why you're going to school, to get your career. Okay, that to get your money, to get stable. So they're messing with your stability and your financial and your everything. Okay, step by step, right? Starts out with little chinks. They don't just take it all down at once. They chink, 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 chink away at it. Okay, so I'm like, wow, my fault. I take responsibility. I was late. Okay. Well, wow, I failed the class. Oh my goodness. Like now that's, and remember, I was already in the program. So once you fail the class, you can't take it every semester like as you can do with your prereqs. You have to wait again for it to be offered in that program, which means they only offer it once a year because there's two instructors and they're on a schedule. This class gets taught in the fall of, whatever, 2011. This class gets taught in the spring of 2012. So, and they don't go back and there's no other class being offered. So I had to wait. Well, actually, no. At that point, no. What happened was with that late assignment, I know that it was purposely for me because I had asked other students not to be a starter or anything, but I was just curious, like, hey, you handed in a late assignment and you handed in a late assignment. Yeah, she let me. She said it was fine, and she knew I was working a lot. Oh, really? Because I am too. I'm working a lot. I wasn't mad at the girls or the guy. I'm just like, there was what do you call that, preferential treatment or different standards. Oh, because you don't like me, it's not okay if I get a late assignment, even though I have a late assignment for the same reasons that they did. Oh, but you don't like me. That's not right. Do it like you do it all for everybody. But people don't work like that now, do they? Okay, but then that's not fair because we're spending thousands of dollars at this school. And technically, since it was a community college, a lot of the funds that we were getting, that was keeping the whole school running. You're getting paid to teach. Just teach. Don't be all trying to, be a dictator here. Just teach. That's it. Pass if pass for the grades. Don't pass, but don't rig stuff. This one's not okay to get a late assignment. That one's fine because I like her. And again, I wasn't used to this because usually instructors like me my whole life. For real. You should look at my report cards. Annoying, right? Shut up, smarty pants. No, I'm just saying I like them and they like me, and that's a very simple formula. You go to school, you sit down, you shut up, and for the most part, you can talk a little, but maybe that was my mistake in college. I don't know. I was probably all, I don't know. Like I said, I tried to remedy it, though. I knew I was a little bit challenging. That's because I knew a lot of things, and school is a piece of indoctrination, and I didn't want to get indoctrinated, with worldliness and yeah, okay. Some things you keep to yourself. Learn that lesson too. But okay, it was still the motion, the wheels were already set in motion. So, and one thing too with this teacher was funny, this particular instructor, she would always grade me. I started getting C's, I noticed. More so than ever. I don't care about a C, because fine, I'm not in it for the glory. If you want to give me a C, that's fine, as long as I passed. I know it was a B. I know it was a B because I'm a decent writer. And then I'd look at my other friends' papers, and they'd show me, and they were good writers too, and I'm like, oh, wait, you got a B. Well, it's the same thing. I don't have spelling errors. Mine sent to, whatever. They give the little, where you can measure your paper against. Did you do your paragraphs coherent? Did you have one main idea, supporting ideas? Did you have a clear-cut intro, a clear-cut closing, da-da-da-da-da-da, right? And I did. And I looked at theirs, and I'm like, wow, okay, again, different standard for me, because apparently there was something going on, which I would find out later. So, yeah. And I can even show you the transcripts, okay? I got them right here. Bam. I know it's all old and scrumpled, but still, all of a sudden I go from A's and B's, even in anatomy and physiology, which are harder than, the class that I got a C in. I'm like, how do you, whatever. But that's fine. Now, mind you, I was working full time. So I take a little bit of responsibility for that too. Maybe if I wasn't working as much, I could have devoted more time to studying and gotten higher grades. But it was B quality. If I would have worked harder, I could have gotten an A, but it should have been a B. And she was giving me a C because she didn't like me. Fine. Okay, fine. But failed me for the class. I had to go and talk to, assistant dean or whatever and write a letter and, and they kind of worked through that. It's okay. That was a blessing. That instructor was mad because she didn't want to pass me through. She didn't want to. What she was trying to do was rig the situation. She got mad because the other person helped me out of that situation because it was unfair to begin with. She was mad. Oh, yeah, I'm trying to do something. I'm trying to, treat me unfairly. And she didn't want anybody stepping in. Kind of like if a husband or somebody or wife is being abusive and they don't want anybody stepping in and helping the victim, So, but the other person had more power, so they kind of just overrode her. But she was still mad. Remember, I had to deal with her because she was one of the only 2 teachers in that program. So I depended on her to get my degree. Oh, yeah, it was starting to get hot. Okay. All right. So, yeah, so that late assignment, fine. She tried to fail me. Then I went ahead and it got, I spoke to somebody and they waived it, or what, not waived it, but they, they went ahead and and made that remedied that situation. Okay, and by that point I realized I was getting targeted. I kind of felt like it. Now, but I didn't want to say anything. Things were kind of getting weird at home too. I'm looking at my notes. I made notes on this. Just like I said again, some people were not happy for me, including some of my friends and family. um, I had a particular family member who was actually happy for me. She was one of the only other ones who graduated herself. So she was very happy. She's like, do it, you'll feel so much better, your esteem will go up, you'll be able to have a better life, maybe you can move out of the city, buy yourself a home, have some animals. That's my family's animal lovers. Have a better quality of life, but you have to finish school to get a higher paying job, higher wages, okay, which is the American dream. We all know that. You go to school or you go to training for something to increase your skills and get paid more. All right, so almost done. All right, so that teacher ended up, well, another instructor. Then that instructor must have got the other instructor involved, because then that one started picking with me a little bit. Like I remember I gave a speech once and I wore a skirt, and it was a pencil skirt, but it wasn't real tight, and it was knee length, so it wasn't short. And I got dressed up like, oh, we're gonna do a speech. And then the teacher said to me, the instructor, real kind of snotty, you didn't have to dress up like that much. I thought, oh, okay, well, I thought I was giving it my best here. I thought we were giving a speech. Sure, let's give it. Let's dress up, put on some makeup, put on a skirt, let's do it. And then some of the girls in class, I could hear them snickering. Who does she think she is? Hey, I'm doing a speech here. Are we doing speeches, or are we not doing speeches? It's fun to dress up. I don't know, whatever. But anyways, that instructor got her other instructor friend. Remember, there were only two instructors, so now she got the other instructor in on it. I said, oh boy, here we go. That instructor failed me for one of the hardest classes we took, and there was no shame in my game. I'm like, yeah, that was a super hard class. You had to learn like every bone in the body. It was like anatomy and physiology, but like souped up. Okay, like the next level, like where all the muscles connect with the bones, and it was just a lot. Okay, and so I didn't pass that class, had to take it again, which meant I had to wait a whole another year. And during that year, that's when I started having even more problems. This is when the targeting all was pulling in together. Started having super thyroid problems, headaches. I was always tired. I remember my classmates were like, wow, you're always tired. What are you doing? I'm like, and I just thought it's because I was working a lot. Little did I know I was probably at that point being hit with energy weapons. That was probably the beginning of the experimentation, because that was right around 2011 when the human brain what's it called? The Human Brain Initiative Act was signed into executive order by President Obama, which means that there was human experimentation going on the human brain. Okay, I probably was one of those unlucky ones chosen, because boy, yeah, did the symptoms start cropping up. Anyway, so I was dealing with that. Okay, and with this class, I failed it. Okay, me and then a couple of other people too. And we were all bummed out because, remember, they only offer the class once a semester. So we had to wait a whole year of our lives. We're supposed to be graduating. That meant we couldn't graduate on time with our class. We had to wait for the whole next set of class to come in. That's how serious it was. And when you want to be done, you want to be done. Remember, I was almost getting to my 30s. So I'm like, come on. Nope, had to wait. So I took that year and worked and got a job in rehab, to further my skills, and just kept working my doubles and just trying to increase my skills and live, okay, just living. So yeah, a couple of my friends were failed too. I think it's because they were friends with me, to be honest with you. I think it was due to association that they were targeted, because the one girl, she knew her stuff really good. I'm like, how in the heck did you fail? She's like, I don't know. I'm like, that's odd. And I remember in class, I would, when I tried to answer a question, it got to the point where the instructor didn't like me so much. I'd raise my hand and she'd look at me and be like, she'd have like this disgusted look on her face and just breathe real hard. Like it just stressed her out so much to even hear me speak. Like, is it that bad? The whole class would get quiet. Like, oh, here we go. It's funny, but it was like, it's kind of annoying to me. Like, calm down. What are you so worked up for? Comment. Dang. Answer the question. I'm telling you. Then she would get to the point where she'd say, okay, Sherry, make it quick. So anyways, all right, okay. Almost done. So da 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 da. Get through it all. Get to the point where we're almost at clinicals, right? So finish line. I go through the clinicals, and and I'm happy. I'm like I'm close to getting fulfilling my goal, my dream. I'm gonna get out of poverty that I was born into. This disgusting poverty that makes it. I mean, I shouldn't call it disgusting. This, it's heartbreaking poverty when you grow up and you just don't have enough. And I don't mean to complain because I'm the true God loves us and it's all good. But it does make life a little less enjoyable, to be in poverty, to not have proper, food, clothing, or shelter. It affects you, you know. Even a car, something simple. A car. Well, cars cost money. Okay, they're only this and that. Well, yeah, money's all relative though. It's only 1,000. It's only 3,000 if you have an extra 1,000 or 3,000. If you're using that money to pay your bills, you're living check to check. Well, where are you going to get that extra money from? Okay, so I mean, stuff like that. It adds to your stability, which adds to your happiness and your feeling of safety. Okay, so anyways, I was doing my clinicals. I was happy. I got some good feedback. I still kept some of my clinical stuff. This was one I did. Oh yeah, I kept them. Oh yeah, especially for all that legal stuff, just in case that ever cropped up. But I'm looking at my scores here. Time management skills, 3. I was always kind of sucked on that one. But organization, 4. Engage in the fieldwork experience, 4. Which is the highest one. It was 1 through 4. Self-directed learning, 4. She was very interested in utilizing and did her own research. Surprise, surprise. I'm not bragging. I'm just saying, problem solving, reasoning, 4. You know, like I said, A's and B's, nothing. I was happy to be there and I was learning. I really did. I was trying to do a good job. And, obviously some people seen it. They gave me good grades. Strengths, good grammar, good spelling, whatever, converses, something, catching on quickly with the computer, good observational skills, you know. Um, what else? Yeah, good writing skills, da da da. Aware of needs. I don't know. Just, I was liking it. I was getting it, da da da. Anyway, we're not going to go through all that. But anyways, my first set of clinicals, I was doing good. I felt good. I was doing good. We got to go to different things. We got to work with older people, of course. We got to work with mental health. We got to work with children, went to schools and stuff. That was pretty neat. So yeah, I mean, I was finish line. Like I said, I had big plans too, man. When I was, my one family member, my aunt was encouraging me. I was thinking I was gonna have a big party. I was gonna have a big shindig. Boy, you thought I was getting married or having a baby. I was gonna celebrate. I was gonna rent a hall and have a big party, for my family, and just, would encourage them too. Like, hey, we can get out of poverty. It was a very big deal. It was a big deal, even though it was a community college. Still, you're doubling your income. That's a big deal. It's a big deal because that means a different style of life. Okay, and I was doing it. Just fine, doing it. Working and going to school and trying to get done. All right, so what else? I could see the finish line. I had my last set of clinicals, okay? It was March. We graduated in May, okay? So here I go. I was working, I did my clinicals at a nursing home, which, surprise, surprise, I actually worked at a nursing home for much of my career. So I'm like, piece of cake. Of course I know how to work in a nursing home. I know older people. I know how to toilet and help them brush their teeth and get up and change and get from the wheelchair to the bed and the bed to the wheel. I got it. Oh my goodness, this is going to be pretty cool. It's not the easiest work, but it's not that hard. It's pretty simple, So yeah. When I went, here's how my targeting continued. First day I met my instructor. She actually put this in writing, I believe. Sent me an email. And she goes, Sherry, nice to meet you. My name's blah, blah, blah. And I just want to mention this in the get-go. I don't want to have to tell you not to wear too much perfume. Okay. Or thongs. And then she laughed, LOL. What? Thongs. Okay. Okay. Hold on. Pause, right? Too much perfume. Like, why? You've never met me. I don't have a problem wearing too much perfume. I really don't, So I don't know. Somebody must have told her that. One of my instructors, maybe. Wearing too much perfume. Okay, fine. I can blow that comment off. But now the second one. Here's where it got weird. Don't wear thongs. Okay, you talking about thong sandals? With the little thing in between the toes, guys? Beach sandals, flip-flops. Why on God's green earth? And I already work in a nursing home. I already told her this. So she knows I have scrubs and I have tennis shoes. Nice ones. Why on God's green earth would I come into work for my clinicals reporting to duty with open-toed sandals in a medical facility? I mean, that's kind of like, you're insulting me and you're insulting the institution that sent me here. That they would send somebody that would be that clueless when it's specifically, you don't think we're told what to wear? And I told you I work in a nursing home, so what, she didn't insulting me. Then, okay, second way, if she wasn't talking about beach thong sandals, then what was she talking about? Thong underwear? Which, by the way, I don't wear thong underwear. Okay, TMI. Some people do, and kudos to you guys. Kudos to them. That's why everybody has a choice. But I don't like my butts out in the open like that. I like them grandma panties. The one that come up over your belly button. They give you full coverage, French high cut. Yes, grandma panties. Love them. And I'm single and I can wear them. If I got married, and I do wear the bikini kind too sometimes. They're normal underwear. Okay. And if I got married, I'd probably have to wear, the bikini ones more. Even I probably would have to wear a thong one if I was married. But I'm not. And I don't like thongs. So I don't wear them. So what the heck? And even if I did, though, even if I did, which I don't, why was this clinical instructor woman bringing that up to me so disrespectfully? Thongs, underwear. That can be like, to me, that's like assault. That's like aggressive speech or something of that nature. It's inappropriate for sure. You're basically kind of sexually assaulting. You're talking sexually aggressive to me. What are you? This is not a strip club that I need to be told not to wear thong underwear. And you can't tell me what kind of underwear to wear anyways, which, by the way, I wear grandma panties. But to have that conversation, that's, targeting. That's when it kind of became clear. I mean, through all the bullying, there was so much more bullying. I left out of class crying a couple times, from one of the instructors, which was fine. I tried to hide it. I wasn't all like open with it, like, but the tears start coming. I'm like, oh God, I don't want them to see. And my friends felt bad for me. They seen what was going on, you know. And to be honest, when I was doing my clinicals, I was a nervous wreck because I knew that there was some people that didn't want me to succeed. And like I said, it is a big pressure, to try to come out of poverty. You almost feel guilty for leaving the other ones behind, your other family and friends that didn't, but I was the one going to school. Like, how can I can't help all my adult family members. Come on, let's go to school together. I can only help myself and by example, help them. But I was a nervous wreck because there was so much on the line riding on that. I needed to, a new car at that point. My car was about to go out, but I'm like, I just got to make it past this finish line, so close. And the whole politics of it all. And I was kind of being a perfectionist a little bit. That didn't help. But I think, when you feel like you got to control things, like I said, so much pressure, so much riding on that. My future. So a normal person would have cut somebody some slack. I know you're nervous. This is so much pressure. It's okay. But, she obviously didn't want to work with me. And, one of my instructors, the nicer of the two, the one that the other one got in on it, not the original bully, but the one that joined in, she kind of tried to give me the heads up to, hey, Sherry, if you're not feeling comfortable at that clinicals, you can go to another one. We got some more. And this one was closer. It was real close to my house. It was like one street there, and it was just for location, really. Is, same side of town I live on. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm fine there. And I thought it was great. But that clinical instructor, boy, oh boy, oh boy. One thing, too, I want to mention. You guys have heard me talk about this in my puzzles. She mentioned the word Italians. She mentioned Italians to me, and she said something. Oh, my instructor said this, too. Something asked if I knew somebody in the Italian mob. No. Weird question. She tried to act like she was joking. She was not joking. Then the clinical instructor asked me about something about Italians. For the record, I am not Italian at all. My mom is regular white, and when I say, I just mean like waspy, like whatever. She's got German and French and Irish, just regular white, old blonde lady, okay? And my dad is black, just not even, nothing like African, not like Caribbean, Jamaican, Cuban, nothing, just regular black, okay? That's it. I'm just black and white, not Italian. Nothing exotic here, okay? So, keep asking me about Italians. Odd. So anyways, moral of the story, point of the whole story, I failed. Oh, and the day that I failed, the day that she decided to give me my, and I have it all here, I kept my, so here's our little point system, right? Okay, you have to get, 70 points to pass. 70, or was it 68? Hold on, I got it here. Oh, pass, 70 or more. She gave me 68. 68. So 2 points. My life down the drain. I'll tell you, because, well, here. So anyways, I do the clinicals. I'm doing them. I'm trying to learn everything. I'm a nervous wreck, but I'm trying. There's a whole new charting system. This was a little, some years back. So I wasn't used to computers like that. I knew them, of course, but I didn't know them like now. And, it was a new charting system I had never used, and I was trying to be careful, and I was going kind of slower, and she was just not having it because she wanted to get out of there on time. And I apologized, like, I'm sorry, I don't want to make mistakes. And then one day I think I accidentally like deleted a whole line of stuff and had to start. And she just blew her top. She was kind of a perfectionist too. Everything had to be so perfect, and I'm trying, and just the pressure. She could have been easier than that. She didn't have to fail me. And by 2 points, it's almost insulting. It's almost like trying to make a point. When somebody fails you by 2 points, I'm going to tell you this, and we all know this. If somebody likes you, they can make 2 points go away. If somebody doesn't like you, they can make those 2 points count against your whatever. So she made them count. She did it on purpose. Okay. And it's funny because my scores here, as I'm looking at them, oh yeah, I kept the paperwork, you darn right I did. And my scores here are, ethics, I scored high. What else? My goodness, like, all of it was pretty decent. And, looking at it, communication, activity analysis, intervention plans, all that, and be that as it may, she failed me by 2 points. So 2 points. And the day that our last day of clinicals, when we come in, it's supposed to be a good feeling, and I didn't know she was going to fail me. She knew, though. But I come in, and I had a cake, a 3 milk cake. It's a Mexican cake. I don't know why. I think I went to the Mexican store that day. It was right on my way to work. And I bought I had like a whole little thing, Oh, and for the day that they brought stuff in for me, it was pizza from local pizza joint. Okay, Italian. Okay, fine. Everybody loves pizza. But yeah, I brought in presents. Literally, I put them all in nice little baskets and stuff with the little ribbons on them, and personally did the cards, and I really meant them. I even bought the clinical instructor like a little underneath to go under your scrub tops, in the wintertime, because she would always get cold. They're like kind of sheer, just like an undershirt, like an undershirt, but a sheer one, so it's not too hot, because you're still moving around. Yeah, I got her one of those. Oh my goodness. Do you know, it took me a while to get the stuff from my car. Do you know how embarrassed and devastated I was when I brought that in, and then she brought me to the back room and was like, had tears in her eyes. I'm like, oh, she's, tears for joy that I'm passing. This is my last day. She's going to miss me. I knew she was going to miss me. This lady, oh no, she's crying because she's guilty and she feels bad. I'm so sorry, and this and that, and are you going to be able to do it again? No. No, I'm not going to be able to do it again. You just ruined my career, kind of ruined my life. You don't know that, but by those 2 little points that you had no business doing, you shouldn't have done it. And I hate to get mad about it, but if I was a clinic, sometimes, you want to make a point, but you just think to yourself, is this going to hurt somebody? What are the long-term ramifications of this? What could happen? That's why I never do that to people. I hate, not to say never, but I don't, all the time those instructors bullied me. I could have went to report them. Everybody was telling me that too, and I didn't. And you know why I did it? Because I didn't want to get them in trouble, because I didn't want to jeopardize their livelihood, their careers, because I know that they had husbands, they had houses, they had mortgages that they had to pay. They had probably had children or grandchildren or pets that they have to pay to care for their homes. I think about that. Before you go telling on somebody and getting them in trouble and ruining their livelihood. You think about that. You think, okay, is this that serious? Is this something I can look over? If I was a clinical instructor, I would not do that to somebody. Is this something, 2 points? I could just let this woman go. She knows what she's doing. It wasn't a safety thing or anything like that. It was stupid. She rigged it on purpose. And I know it's because of that slow charting I made her mad that day. That was like the straw that brought. Then she was crying at the end. Oh, you've already done it. You've already done it. Fine. So I remember I sat in my car for a few minutes and just kind of cried. Because it was March. We were going to graduate in May. I only had one more clinical to go. and she blocked it just like this, like a big old, like one of those, like when you're passing through traffic and that little, like you're trying to go by a train tracks and that thing comes down, the big arm, and like no, and you're like, oh, I can't go, you know. So then I knew everything was kind of ruined. No graduating, which meant, no money, no more money, no car, no buying a home, no, meeting a husband and having kids. Come on now, how are we going to do that? TikTok, women got a biological clock, are already having thyroid problems, okay, which was affecting fertility and stuff like that, having like ovarian cysts and stuff, which I'm not going to get into. But there was other stuff going on. I was working full time. What else did they want from me? What else? What else am I doing so wrong? What? so, so yeah. I tried to talk to the instructors. I tried to talk to the deans. I even like got people from I went to this one agency and had her come in with me, and she said we should fight it. We got to get you a lawyer. We got to talk to legislation. And I said, no, maybe we can just talk to them. Let's talk to them first. And they were just I don't know, just entrenched in their positions, And that one teacher was so funny. That one instructor, she smiled as I was crying when we all had the final meeting. She was, I was sobbing. I was trying not to. I'm like, be strong, be strong. Don't give this. You never want your enemies to see you cry. They're like vampires. They like suck it up. You know how vampires love blood and zombies love brains? Freaking sociopaths love your tears. A normal person, when you see somebody, you're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. But a sociopath, they love it. It's like energy. They're like, yeah, bullseye, off of your pain. So I tried not to cry, but of course this was my career, so I cried. I was trying not to. I was trying to hold it in because it's a professional meeting. I'd be like blubbering, but it was hurtful. It was a hot tears too. Hot tears. My life is just ruined because they told me under no circumstances could I finish that program there or any school in Wisconsin. I'm like, what in the world? You're making it seem like I did something horrible. What in God's green earth? Meaning all my credits, all that work, those 2 years of that program, it was all for nothing because I couldn't do anything with it. And in the medical field, you can't it's not like you can go to a job and say, hey, I have the skills, I've been trained. Okay, but you need your license number. You need to be licensed. What's your, did you sit for a test, an exam? Where's your license number? You're certified, you're licensed. No, well then you can't do anything. You can't apply to hospitals. You can't apply. And I wanted to do home health with my degree. I was going to go and work for an organization, but go to people's houses. You make more money, and that's the kind of job I like, where you don't have to be with the same people all the time. You're constantly moving around. I like that for me and my personality and my stuff I got going on. That works better for me. But nope. They said under no circumstances, under no circumstances, any school in Wisconsin for this program. Then the one instructor, I could see that little smile starting to creep up. She had a smile like the Cheshire cat, like the freaking Luciferian, like she wanted to smile. She was feeling so good. She's probably like, yeah, got her, mission accomplished. Yeah, it was horrible. So I was devastated. I know the ones who were hating on me and my friends and family, they were all happy that oh, you didn't finish, because sometimes you ever tell people something positive you're doing and they actually seem sad about it. That's a hater. I've never, I try not to feel like that. Like, if somebody tells me something, I'm happy for them. Even if I'm sad for myself, like, dang, I don't have that. But I'm still happy for them. Isn't there a scripture in the Bible? The bridesmaid is as happy as the bride, or the what do they call those when the men, the groom and the groomsmen, the friends of the groom are just as happy as the groom, because you're happy for your friend, right? As people, even if we can't do something, we're happy to see others do it. You see older people, they can't walk or anything anymore, but they see their little grandchildren playing and they're happy just seeing it. You're still happy for others. Not these people. They were sad when I was about to succeed. But boy, when they realized I wasn't passing that program, oh man, I could tell. I knew exactly who was had ill will towards me. So yeah, tried to fight it, kept saying no, so I just had to let it go. Whoa, and one lady in the meeting, just, she was a little older, and she goes to me, well, why don't you just try something else? You're still young enough. I just spent 4 years of my life, working doubles, doing homework, going to class. I'm tired. I'm tired. School is very tiring. School and working full time. That's why most people don't do it if they can help it. They work part time, which is what I should have done. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. But my bills were full time. You know what I'm saying? My bills weren't part time. I wasn't living at home with my mom sharing the rent or with roommates. Maybe I should have been, but I was living by myself. I didn't have part time bills. I had full time bills. So I had to work full time, and I didn't get, at first I didn't get a lot of assistance and whatnot. So, anyways, um, yeah. So basically, for her to say that was kind of funny. Like, just do it all over again. Like, it's no big deal. Just do it again. Just pick another program. And I'll tell you what happened when I did. And I did. And again, this is all part of blacklisting. They weren't, if they, truth be told, they weren't, they didn't want me to pass. Especially that one instructor. She was happy. Oh boy. Cheshire Cat, evil smile. I always remember it. Haunts me. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I remember it. I remember it. She achieved her goal. But the funny part. Okay, so where's my degree? Where's my future? Where's my home that I want to own? I don't want to always rent, I don't want anybody, you ever hear that term, there's no such thing as a free lunch? I never want to hear somebody say they gave me something. Because then people use that power over you. I don't mind serving and being respectful. But, as much as we can, we like to do for ourselves. Because you don't want to hear somebody say, I gave you something, and then, and then you're like, oh God, now I owe you my firstborn or something. You know what I mean? Just don't give me anything. There's no free gifts. I'll work. God gave me hands and everything. Unless you're disabled or something, if you really can't, then people do it for you, and that's because they're supposed to. Not just, nobody, don't give me nothing for free, please. I mean, or, you know what I'm saying? You just want to work for everything and make it fair as much as possible. Not that we don't rely on each other and appreciate good gifts and are grateful and everything, but you want to make it as equal as possible. I like to give gifts too, not just receive. Okay, so anyways, this really messed me up. My future, my career, my owning a home, owning a vehicle. I'm on the bus now and taking Ubers. The fact that I could have met a husband after I graduated and then probably had kids while I was still at the age where I could have. Now I'm in my 40s. Yeah, it's possible, but that's for celebrities where I could, if I could be on bed rest. Janet Jackson had a baby at 50, but I'm sure she didn't have a normal pregnancy as if a 25, younger person has a pregnancy. It's different. Your body's different. Come on, let's be honest. We're not made to have babies at that old. We can, thankfully for science, that's a good thing. And if you have money, if you can afford to be on bed rest and you can get your womb implanted or whatever, all that science stuff that they use to get you pregnant and stuff, take out your eggs, fertilize it, put it back in. Wonderful. I don't have that. I don't even have health insurance right now. I would have had I had my career. Okay? I only have money to get a little nip tuck done if I wanted, which, when you get to a certain age, yeah, you want a little nip and tuck. I'm not saying, make yourself all unrecognizable. I mean, but it's personal, right? It's everybody's business what they do. What color you color your hair, what you wear, your face, your glasses, your clothes, your kind of car you drive, what kind of food you eat. It's your business. I'm just saying, all this depended on money. All this depended on my degree. I lost this all. All of it. So, depressing, hey? It brought back a lot of memories just even sitting talking about it. It's so painful. It was such a traumatic experience. I'll tell you part two, what I did to fix it that summer. But that'll be another video. We're running long if you guys are still with me. Okay, so the good thing that I learned out of all this was that the true God will replace everything that this world has taken from us. For one thing, financial issues won't be an issue when the true God takes back, rulership of the earth and how it's supposed to be ran. Technically, everything's free. It belongs to the true God, right? It's just humans. We've made a little organizational system for ourselves where we have people buy and pay and barter and all that, which is okay, but then sometimes it can be a little unfair, right? And then you have some situations like this where you have somebody that's in charge of giving a degree or passing or failing you, and they do it not based on actual skills and work, but they do it based on their like or dislike of you. Bad. Very bad. Okay? So, but all that unfairness, the injustice, that will be replaced when, we pray for God's kingdom, right? Kingdom is like a government, okay? Pray for God's kingdom to come. So, that will be fixed. I'm okay with that. I mean, really. And then, I think about it now, okay, we'll wrap this up, but I could have done, I look at the way things are right now, okay, right now with everything going on. We're in a new world system, right? We're going to go to a cashless society, advanced satellite-based technology, just a different way of living, telehealth, everything, everything remotely, jobs, doctor's appointments, you know what I mean? Just the way that things are run, stores, businesses, a lot of them shutting down. I mean, it's sad, I feel bad for those people. Unlike some people, I don't smile when other people fail. I feel bad. Um, so where's their future? That's hard for them too. That sucks. And right now with school, is school even a thing anymore? Is school a thing? Like right now, they don't even know if they're going to open back up. And you know, so I look at it like that now, and I think to myself, I could have done everything right. I could have not worked full time. I could have, gotten, excuse me, I could have gotten roommates. I could have, whatever it took. I could have done. I could have shut my mouth more, and not been so challenging, and and passed, and gotten my career, and been making and been happier, right? But then, even now, with everything going on, people that have done everything right still are suffering. What about the people who've had businesses for years and scrimped and saved and paid their bills on time and never had any debts, and now they're losing their businesses? The businesses they thought they were going to pass on to their families and children. What about those people? Okay? They did everything right, and there's still bad things happen. What about all those instructors, huh? What about them too? They did everything. They thought they were going to retire with pensions. Everything was good, right? They had it on lock. They didn't have to work too hard, and they were comfy, and they had big cushion. Probably had timeshares, went on vacations, paying for school for their kids and their grandkids. Maybe everything was wonderful. Now schools, everything's downsizing now. Even the school system. I mean, really, if you don't have classes, Harvard now is offering remote internet classes more than they did before for a lot of their core programs. So what does that tell you? That's one of the highest grossing schools in the United States, right? Ivy League, right? Yeah, it's where a lot of, you know, the greats come out of. Okay, they're downsizing. They're doing things differently. You think they're going to need as many instructors? No. No. So they're downsizing too. What about all the school staff, the cleaning? If you don't have that many students, you're not going to need all the support staff. Okay? Which is sad. Again, it's sad. So you could have done it all right. I could have done it all right, and it still could turn out wrong. And not to mention, like I've known people that work in regular fields, trades, craftsmen and stuff. They have jobs for years, at these factories and stuff, thinking they're going to retire. Put in hard years, right? Hard work, getting up early, working in factories. That's hard. It's hot. They do a lot of physical work, and then let go. You know what I mean? No, now no way to pay their bills, no their mortgages. They're not gonna be able to retire. What the heck are they gonna do? You can't only work until you get to how old, right? Come on now, 80 years old, working full time. How? When you can hardly move sometimes. Or if you can move, you can't move like you did when you were 20, 30, 40. No. That's why you retire. You can't work anymore. Physical jobs, anyways. So I mean, and those people did it all right. They didn't do anything wrong, and they're still gonna, it still didn't turn out right. So, and then there's people with lots of money, houses, cars, vacations. Those people have debilitating diseases. You ever see that? Poor people. They get things like ALS, where you can't move anymore. Your body, your lungs, you end up dying a horrible death. I work in the medical field, so I go to people's homes sometimes, and you see things. People will have a whole big house, or they'll be they're stuck in their bed, and they have a whole big beautiful house and can't, I've worked for people with a lot of money. I've worked for people with little money, but I've worked for people with, have had, spas in their basement and things like that, just, money. Living in high rises and stuff. I've average people too, upper middle class or whatever, but, I've worked for people with money, and it doesn't matter. They have all this money, all these beautiful things you see in their house and stuff, and it's no problem. It's not bad to have money, right? It's not. They're good people, you know. Um, beautiful clothes, beautiful car, everything that we could want as far as material things. And then they're stuck. Some of them, they're nice people, and they're stuck in bed and can't get out and even enjoy their things anymore. And sometimes they can get it at a younger age too. That's really sad when they didn't even get a chance to. I mean, the stories I could tell you, things I've seen. It's very humbling to work in the medical field, um, and it's eye-opening. So I look at all this, and this story, you can see how much it upsets me, because it did. It was somebody purposely, through targeting And they'll never admit it, of course not. But those comments, and I should have took that lady's, if it shoulda, coulda, woulda. But when one of my instructors was trying to give me the heads up that obviously this woman knew me and didn't care for me, that I should have went to a different one. I should have. Maybe I'd have my degree now and life would have been different. I'd be married. I'd have kids running around in the background. Maybe I would be doing YouTubes on kids or cooking or something, instead of these, YouTubes on targeting individuals. But it doesn't matter, is my point. I guess it's all fine. It's not all fine, but it's fine. I could have done everything right and I still could have turned out wrong. I could have done everything right and it could have turned out better. But the true God will fix it all in the end. So no matter what, he has the power to resurrect people from the dead. We don't, and no human, I don't care, any scientists, they think they're so knowledgeable and everything, and they are, but they can't bring nobody back from the dead. The true God can, though, and the Bible talks about that, and I know some people don't believe in the Bible, but the Bible has a lot of prophecy and a lot of, everything that the Bible has prophesied has come true. So there's no reason not to believe it. And I know people have tampered with it and, whatever, and there's a lot of Freemasonry mixed up in Christianity sometimes, which is frustrating because they're not the same, really. They're not. At least the higher levels of, anyways, that's a different video. I'm just saying, the true God, not religion, not the people who represent him, but the true God has the power to resurrect, and he's holy, and he's just, and he's kind, and he has a plan, and he will, what is that scripture? He will wipe out every tear from their eyes, and pain will be no more. You guys know it. It's like Revelation. Pain will be no more, suffering will be no more, because the former things will have passed away. So that is, I'm so sorry, I don't mean to be like a crybaby, like one of those psycho people on YouTube crying. I don't mean to do that. I'm sorry. I'm not crying. Who's crying? I'm just saying that's such a good thing to look forward to for all of us. No pain no more, and he has the power to do it. So we won't have to live in this kind of system where it's rigged and where it's unfair and where, no, everybody's not treated the same, where you can work hard and it won't account for anything based on whatever greed or the follies of people. Doesn't matter. The true God will fix it. Okay, and then the last scripture too, just to close off here, and then we're done with this story. Okay, I just had to share this. Schoolhouse Blues. But what is that scripture? I should remember. I'm going to get it tattooed. I figured out my tattoo. Romans, I think it's, I should know this. It's 8:28 or 1:8, but you'll know it. I'm going to remember it from now on. But it says, all things work out for the good for those who love the true God. All things. And it's not saying all things right now, because all things right now are not working out for a lot of us, okay? I mean, for the most part, but there's some things that are not going to work out. We're going through a whole new world reset. So, I mean, there's going to be some problems, okay? There's going to be some loss of a lot of things, okay? But in the end, and in general, all things work out for the good for those who love the true God, all right? In the end. And remember, he can even resurrect. So it doesn't matter. We have eternity. As long as we act right, though. That's another thing, too. You can't just be like, oh, we're going to live happily. Okay, there is expectations and boundaries. You guys know that, though, right? Yes, you know that. You know that, good people. You know that, TIs. I know that. We know that. So that's all. I'm done. Stick a fork in me. All right, it was wonderful talking with you guys. I hope you benefited from this information. I hope my story helps you. I'll give you a part 2 on what I did to try to fix the situation after that summer that I failed. I'll tell you the little steps that I took, what worked, what didn't, and see if, hopefully that helps some of you. All right, that's it. Just remember to do your research, and the true God loves us. Have a good day. Thanks. Bye.